but also whether or not that particular device itself is bio-friendly, enhances the biofield, the living energy fields. Hello, working with EMFs or other people's energies, there's a few ways we can assess what's going on. One of the common ways is using kinesiology. Now, a lot of kinesiologists like myself can self-test, so that can be a lock and an unlock or a yes and no response. And so when we're approaching something like a laptop computer or anything that's operating with electricity or has been charged by electricity, it has a certain field effect, right? So if I come towards that laptop and I touch it, I get an unlock response. Now, dowsing does a similar thing, and so with kinesiology and the same with dowsing, you're basically getting a yes and no response. So if I come towards this, and I'm probably going to be out of shot, but you'll see as I get towards this, I'm looking for that as a yes and that as a no. All right, so I'll walk towards the laptop and I'll get an instant no. So if I take a particular product, for example, I've got a home calm here, a ZEN Ki Energy home calm, and I just place that anywhere near the laptop and I'll approach it again. I'm looking for a yes or a no response, meaning a positive or negative, right? So as I walk towards this now, I get an instant positive response. Now, same with kinesiology. If I come towards it and touch it now, I get a positive response. If I take the home calm away, out of shot and out of the field effect, I get an unlock again. And the same with the dowsing rods, they would show a negative response. So I'll bring the home calm back. Now, for all intents and purposes, that may seem to be the end of the story. It's like, well, we've got a yes, we've got a no. But it's not really the end of the story, and it's not actually accurate enough for what we want to do. So I'm going to bring in another tool, which is called the Lecker antenna. And the Lecker antenna, unlike dowsing rods, gives more than a yes and no response. A dowsing rod, and same with kinesiology to some degree, means that we can actually be affected by what we're testing. We can have a little bit of tester bias. With the Lecker antenna, it takes a lot of that out of it because you have a gradient scale of particular frequencies that you're tuning into. So I'm going to set the Lecker antenna to work with electromagnetic fields. So that's all it's looking for. So if I was, for example, scanning someone's energy systems with this and challenging liver or something like that, it's going to give no response whatsoever, even if I'm willing it to. Now, a dowsing rod or a pendulum or a tensor biotensor coil can be influenced by your thoughts and by your thought forms or your wishes. You can make a pendulum go positive or negative. You can make a rod go yes or no. And so it's very hard, and it takes a lot of years of practice to be able to make sure as much as possible that you are not investing in the outcome. What I love about the Lecker antenna is you're only supplying a little bit of your bioenergy to activate its response to particular fields so it gets a response. So in this, I'm also looking for a yes response. That's a positive for me, or a yes. This is a negative, and this is just a neutral point. So in other words, it gives no response. So I'm going to approach the laptop and without the home calm on it, and I've got it set for electromagnetic fields. So as I go towards the laptop, it's an instant no, all right? So a negative response. Put the home calm next to it, and as I come towards it, I get a positive response. So that's basically the same by the look of it as using dowsing rods or kinesiology. But what I'm going to demonstrate now is using some other products that, by all intents and purposes, may give a positive response with kinesiology, a positive response with dowsing, but with the Lecker antenna won't. They will show a neutral response, which means that they're not really positive. So in other words, the challenge really for any of these devices is not only whether it harmonizes the chaotic fields of the EMFs, but also whether or not that particular device itself is bio-friendly, enhances the biofield, the living energy fields. And so I'm going to demonstrate a different product now. Here I have a device that was made out of America. These were very popular around the world. They're a purple disc. Again, I'll start with a neutral response. So I'll start firstly challenging the laptop on its own without any device on it. So as I come towards it, it shows a negative response. Now I'm going to put this particular device on the laptop. Right now I could possibly put it even closer to where the power is, but it should have an effect on the whole thing at that point. Now as I come towards it with the Lecker antenna, it doesn't show a positive or a negative response. It's just showing a neutral response. I'll have a go again. I'll come in. It's not giving me a positive response. Now, if I come in with dowsing rods towards it, it shows me a positive response. So for all intents and purposes, we think, yep, that's good. But when we use the Lecker antenna, we quickly find out that it's not enough. It's only pulling it back to a state of neutrality, not to a positive place. What I'm really looking for is for the antenna to move forward with the product, as I demonstrated with the home calm. So I'll show you again. I'll come in with this product. It just shows a neutral. No matter what I'm endeavoring to do or wish, I could wish it to be positive, I get no response. Now if I take it away, come towards it again on its own, you get an instant negative. Put the home calm back next to it, come towards it, you get an instant positive. So I'm going to demonstrate another device as well. This is a device made by a particular company in Australia, and there are a myriad of these types of devices around the world. This one's generally meant to be plugged in, but it has an energy effect and actually works almost like a free energy capacitor. I can feel this going on and off and on and off. It's probably got some resin, it might have crystals in it or some copper filings or other little bits and pieces in it. So in effect, what you've got is an insulator and conductor, which is a free energy capacitor. The resin being the insulator, and whatever's inside it, whether it's crystals or whether it's filings of copper or gold or whatever, forms the conductor, making a free energy capacitor. Now I'm just going to put that on there. Now if I come towards that or even challenge the laptop with kinesiology, I get a positive response. I take it away, I get a negative response. Put it back, get a positive response. Come in towards it with dowsing rods, I get a positive response. Come towards it with the LECA antenna, set on EMFs, and let's see what we get. Come towards it with the LECA, I just get that neutral place again, and that's not what we want. Now, if I take this particular device and hold it in my hand, and I'm checking it per se as a device, I get off, on. So it's pulsing. It's taking energy in and sending it out, which is what a free energy capacitor does. Now, if I challenge that towards my body shows an instant unlock. So it doesn't like the energy, so it's not bio-friendly in that sense. So what we want is our devices to be able to pull the laptop or any electrical device to the positive, not just to bring it to the neutral point. I'm going to demonstrate another device. This particular device was made by an Australian company. Let's see if this device does anything. So we'll check the laptop in the clear. We'll come towards it with the LECA, and in the clear it's negative. Put this device on it. Come towards it with the LECA. It still stays negative. So in fact, this device does nothing. So we're just going to discard that. This particular device is called a tachyon device. Not sure what it was supposed to do. It just looks like a bit of glass. So let's see if it has any effect on the laptop. We'll put it on there and come towards it with the LECA antenna. Instant no. So that doesn't do anything either. And my body doesn't like it. Okay, next. This particular device was made popular back in the 1990s by an Australian company at the time. Now I can feel there's some energy in it, and I'm not sure what's in it. It's sealed on the end with a bit of silicone. So I'm going to put that on the laptop as well and see what happens as we come towards it. I'll just activate it. It is on anyway. Come towards it. No, it doesn't do anything. Sit it upright on there. See if it's got anything to do with the ends of it. No. Turn it the other way. Go towards it again. No, that's not doing anything either. What I'm going to do this time is I've got a couple of these purple devices. I'm going to set two of them on there and see if it does something. So I go towards it. It just stays in the neutral. It doesn't pull it to the positive. Interestingly, these devices on their own, they have a symbol on one side and nothing on the other. And they have a polarity either side. If I touch that side, you get a lock response. The other side, you get a negative response. And on the body shifts polarities depending on where you wear it. So that would be affecting you in the positive or negative depending on whether it was below the sternum or left or right or above. Too unpredictable for me. So now I'm going to put the home cam back and do one check. Come towards it. It's positive. Let's grab something else. I'll grab another ZEN Ki Energy product and have a go. This time I'm going to put this beautiful tiny little pendant on here. Let's see what happens with that. Come towards it. Instant positive. It's tiny. Does the job. This time, a ZEN Ki Energy bangle. Let's go towards it again. Instantly positive. And also, if I bring that to me, it's positive. This is the idea, is we want these products to enhance our biofield. So I've got a pendant, I've got that on. Beautiful. Fine. Ultimately, that's what we want. We want not only to be harmonizing the EMFs because we use them every day. We want to be around them. We want the benefits of electromagnetic fields and frequencies. We just don't want the disruptive fields that affect our bioenergy. We want them to be harmonized, and we want our biofield not to be diminished, working long hours around EMFs, whether it's on mobile phones, working on computers, or whatever. This is a simple demonstration of some of those ideas. Thank you.